Hey everyone, and welcome to Our World Today. Today we're out here on July 4th, and on July 4th it is Independence Day, the day that America claimed independence from Britain and from the old world. And today we're out here where there's going to be the fireworks in the evening and people are gathering, and we're going to be interviewing people, asking them questions such as do you know why America claimed their independence? Why did America want to be independent from the old world, and why did people originally come to America? And also with the current events going on today in the world today, do you see that America is slowly restricting some of our liberties? And the last question is, did you know the Bible refers to the work and role of America in the world we live in today? This is on the YouTube channel Our World Today. So that's why we're doing it, and I have just 5 brief questions to ask you.
Okay.
So do you know when America claimed their independence?
You're talking about the date the Declaration of Independence was signed?
Yeah, well, yeah, the date.
July 4th, 1776.
You got it, brother. And your name is? Your name
Eric.
Is? Eric, nice to meet you, Eric. Boy, you're good. You're true. So do you know why America claimed independence from the old world and from Britain? Do you know the reason?
Because the king was taxing the Americans without any representation for their tax money.
Okay, so it was taxes. All right.
It's taxation without representation.
Gotcha. And I agree with that. I completely agree with that. However, there was more than that. It was because of simply freedom.
Yeah, there was a lot more. That was the base of what started the revolution.
Yeah, because you've heard the term the Dark Ages before, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so during the Dark Ages, church and state united, the Catholic Church killed millions of people, there was no religious liberty, no
Correct.
freedom of conscience, so that's the main reason why they came here, right?
That was the Crusades.
Right, exactly. So with the current events today, going on in the world today, do you see America starting to restrict those liberties that was given to us in the beginning?
From everything from religion to gun rights.
Yeah,
Everything
exactly.
is being restricted.
Right.
Anything that passes as a gun law is a restriction on our Second Amendment rights.
Right, so you can see that's happening today.
Absolutely.
But did you know the Bible actually talks about America and that America would do that? And it's going to get worse and worse? You didn't know?
No, but I can tell you it's getting worse and worse.
All right, well, I'm going to tell you something. If you read the book that was given to you, you're going to see that the Bible prophesied that this would take place thousands of years ago.
Okay.
And so I encourage you to read that
Absolutely.
book. And thank you so much, brother.
Have a great day.
Yeah, you too. God bless, brother.
So we're here today with Tim and our World Today. And Tim, we have a few questions for you. Our first question is, do you know when America claimed their independence?
The year?
Yes. Well,
It's been a while.
okay, so it's July 4th, 1776. Okay, the next question is, who did America claim the independence from?
Britain or England?
Britain. All right. And do you know why? Why did people originally came to America?
To come to be free from their regulations, their taxes.
Right, so it was for religious reasons and liberty of conscience. Yes. Here's the next question for you. With the current events going on in the world today, do you see that America is slowly restricting some of our liberties?
Maybe in some areas.
Right.
I don't have a strong opinion to really give on that.
Would you say some of our liberties that are being restricted are gun laws and religious laws?
I guess depends on the area. Like I said, here, not so much.
Okay.
That's just me. That's, like I said, I don't have too strong of opinions on this.
Okay, I
so-
understand. Okay, here's our last question, because I know you have to go. Did you know the Bible refers to the work and the role of America in the world we live in today?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Did you know the Bible refers to the work and the role of America in the world we live in today?
No.
Yeah, well, it's mentioned in Revelation 13. So when you have the time, you should look up Revelation 13, and you see where most of the things you see happening around has been mentioned there in Revelation 13. Well, Tim, I want to thank you
All right.
for having this interview.
All right. So hi, Reese. Welcome to Our World Today. So I would just briefly want to ask you a few questions. So do you know when America claimed their independence?
Well, it's in the history books. It's like July 4th,
July 4th. Do you know which year?
1970, or not 1776. Sorry.
Oh, wow. You guys got it. Did you take history class?
Yeah.
Good job. So, do you know why did America want to be independent from the old world? Do you know the reason?
I think it was Shut up. So, multiple reasons, but
Okay.
probably taxation without representation.
Okay.
We had a lot of sugar taxes.
Okay. Explain sugar taxes.
Just like taxes. Well, I guess actually now that I think about it, there's a lot of acts that went through. Like the Stamp Act, which was like taxes on a whole bunch of paper goods, taxes on tea,
Gotcha.
tariffs, all of those good
Gotcha.
taxes, and they didn't have any representation in Parliament.
Gotcha. Makes
And-
sense.
And yeah,
Makes sense. Now, I agree with you. These are some of the reasons, but there was one major reason why they came to independence, and that's because they wanted religious liberty, freedom of conscience. Did you learn that in your history class?
Yes.
You did learn that? Okay, so another question. So, do you know why people originally came to America?
for religious freedom, like
For religious
pilgrims.
freedom. Right. Gotcha. So they came here to establish a church without a pope and a state without a king. I'm sure you've heard that before. So with the current events going on today, do you see America starting to restrict those same liberties that they wanted to give us in the beginning?
Definitely.
You see that happening? Now, did you know the Bible actually talks about what America is going to do in these end times? In the end times?
The Bible talks about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't know that? All right, so the Bible talks about it. Now, I know many people would be confused because they don't study it, but in the Bible, it's a very figurative book, and it talks about beasts, and a beast represents a kingdom if you study the Bible.
So you're talking about interpretation.
Interpretation.
Versus what it actually says. Oh.
Yes, however, the Bible will interpret itself if you let it, by studying here a little and there a little.
Okay.
It will interpret itself. So we want to give you a book, a free gift, that talks about more.
So, my first question for you today is, do you know when America claimed their independence?
So it's going to be in the 1780s.
No, I'm
No.
sorry, no.
Dang it! I don't remember.
So,
I feel like
So America gained their independence on July 4th, 1776.
You're the one that's answering.
I am.
So,
I was guessing.
Right?
so one of the questions here is, why did America want to be independent from the old world? And what old world, who did they gain the independence from?
So that would be the English.
Okay, Britain, okay.
They fled for primarily religious persecution.
All right, so religious liberty, wonderful. Okay. So, with the current events going on in the world today, do you see that America is slowly restricting some of our liberties?
They are.
Yeah, liberties like what?
So they are, well, for starters, Second Amendment is one of the big ones that they're trying to restrict.
Okay.
So that'll be the biggest one that they're starting with, but I know they've tried for the First Amendment that they've tried to restrict people.
Right. Also, do you think they're restricting religious liberty?
They definitely don't help out the Christian community at all. I mean, unfortunately, you see about 10 churches every day to every week closing down because, they're either persecuted or a lot of people don't like the harassment that they get from their neighbors, so they stop going, so churches can't keep their doors open.
One of the events that we could point to is the baker. Do you remember have you seen the story with the baker where because he wouldn't bake a cake for
Yes, I do remember
yes,
hearing about that story.
right, and they want to take away his rights
Right.
take away his right of conscience. So yeah, okay. Here's a question for you. Did you know the Bible refers to the work and the role of America in the world we live in today?
I haven't gotten that far, honey.
Well,
Sorry. Could you repeat the question?
the question is, did you know the Bible refers to the work and the role of America in the world we live in today?
I have heard that there is, I wouldn't say 100% that I'm certain, but I've heard that there is prophecies in the Bible that kind of seem to point to America, though I'm not
Yes.
really 100%.
That would be Revelation 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, and from verse 11 and 12 and onward, it's America in prophecy.
Hi, my name is Willie, and this is for Our World Today, and your name is?
Branda.
Branda?
I'm Lexi.
Lexi, nice to meet you. So I have just briefly 5 questions. So do you know when America claimed their independence?
That's all you. I don't remember. It's been so long since I took a history class.
Okay, all right. Can you take a guess at least?
Like 1852.
All right, good guess. I really appreciate it. That's bold. That's boldness. It was 1776.
Oh.
But it was a good guess. All right. All right. So my second question is, why did America want to be independent from Britain? Do you know why?
Because taxation.
Taxation. Okay. That's one. Anything else?
Nice.
All right. So the reason why they came here was they wanted freedom. Religious freedom, you know, different kind of freedoms, right? So the pilgrims that came here, they came because they wanted liberty of conscience. You know, have you ever heard the term the Dark Ages before? Like when they were oppressed, persecuted, Christians were killed and all that. They wanted freedom from that, so that's why they came here. So now, with the current events that is in the world today, are you guys seeing certain liberties being stripped away? Kind of? You're seeing it? You guys are seeing it? So did you know the Bible actually talks about America in the world today? It does. And it tells you what America is going to do too. So I just want to leave a gift with you guys on this very topic here. There we go. Here you go. Maybe even two. So this is for you. And you're also invited to our free healthy event here.
What's your name again, please? Hi, Vicky. So my question for you today, do you know when America claimed their independence?
It was on the 4th of July.
Yeah, do you know what year?
No, I do. Oh, and 19... I used to know that. I couldn't give you that answer.
July 4th, 1776.
Okay.
And here's my next question. Who were they gaining independence from?
From the British.
Oh, right. Wonderful. Okay. Why did America want to be independent from the old world?
Because they were idiots.
You think they were idiots to want...
The British, yeah.
You think they were idiots?
They didn't want... Well, there was a civil war over that.
So, well...
They wanted their freedom.
Yes, but what kind of freedom specifically?
To be able to govern their own land that they had.
Religious liberty and liberty of conscience.
Yes.
Okay, so with the current events going on in the world today, do you see that America is slowly restricting some of our liberties?
Yes and no. It just depends on what the topic is.
Do you see any liberty being restricted here in America?
No. There probably is some, but I couldn't give you one right off the hand.
Well, the most that stand out for most people is religious and gun rights.
Yes.
Yes.
You're absolutely right. Yes, I'm not giving up my guns.
Right, so that is one of the liberty that is being restricted. Gun rights.
Yeah, I should be knowing this because I watch Fox News all the time.
Okay, so our last question for you today is, did you know the Bible refers to the work and the role of America in the world we live today?
Say that again.
Did you know the Bible refers to the work and the role of America in the world we live in today?
Absolutely, yes.
Do you know where in the Bible it speaks about?
No, I couldn't tell you that.
Okay.
It's in there, I know.
Yeah, it's in Revelation 13.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
Yes, it's in Revelation 13. Well, Vicky, I want to thank you for interviewing and for speaking with us. I have a gift for you today.
Well,
I pray that I see you like to read.
I do.
So I guarantee you will enjoy this reading.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, enjoy your food. Thank you.
Marty, you said?
Marty Zach.
Marty, gotcha. All right. You ready? All right, so welcome. This is just on the YouTube channel, Our World Today, and I'm just going to ask you 5 brief questions.
Okay.
So do you know when America claimed their independence? Do you know the exact year?
1776.
Boy, you got it, brother. I'm surprised. So now, why did America claim their independence from Britain and the old world? Do you know why?
Not exactly. I mean, there really wasn't any independence here from what I remember back then. So somebody had to do it. So, but no, I don't know the exact answer.
All right, so the answer is the reason why they claim independence is because of freedom. Back in the old world, if you ever heard the term the Dark Ages before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, people were oppressed. There was no liberty of conscience, no religious freedom, nothing like that. So the reason why they claimed independence is because they wanted to be independent of that system completely.
In Britain, you're talking about?
Yeah,
Not in America.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So do you know why the pilgrims actually sailed overseas to come here? Most of the people that came here in the early?
Man, that's way back in the history lessons. No, I don't know exactly why they came over here.
All right. So it's again...
To escape.
Right, exactly. To escape from persecution that happened because church and state was united, which ended up in persecution. So that's what they were escaping. And they came here to establish a church without a pope and a state without a king. That's the reason why they came.
They rose to escape.
Yeah, and then they founded the Constitution. So one last question. With the current events going on today, do you see America slowly restricting our religious freedoms and our liberties?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Boy, you see it.
Absolutely, I see it.
I completely agree with it. Like with 9/11, with the gun, with this gun rights, and everything, and they're doing it in the name of security. Some terrorist attacks, and they say like, for security, it looks like it's for the common good. We have to take away these rights, but it ends up the government is going to end up oppressing us. When the reason why the reason why the common people was given guns is to protect ourselves against the oppression of the government.
100% agree.
You agree? All right.
Coming. Yep.
So you see it coming. So did you know the Bible actually talks about it coming?
Oh yeah.
You know that the Bible talks about it?
It won't happen out here in the Northwest anytime soon, but yeah, I can definitely see it in the East and California, Oregon, Washington. But yes, I do know the Bible talks about that. I'm a Catholic and I know that.
All right. Well, we have a gift for you. We want to give these books to you. They talk about this very subject. They go through the history of America and America and Bible prophecy, and you can take a look at it and be informed.
Perfect.
All right, thank you so much. All right, hi, so what's your name?
I'm Jacoby.
Jacoby, I'm Willie. So today I just want to ask you 5 quick questions about America's history. Do you know when America claimed their independence?
Sometime in the 1800s.
Sometimes in the 1800s? Real good try. It's actually 1776.
Oh, I was off.
You're off, but that's completely fine. I fully understand it. So on July 4th, 1776, America claimed their independence from Britain and the Old World. Second question, do you know why America claimed independence from the Old World? Nope. I have no clue why? All right, they did it because they wanted freedom.
Yeah.
In the Old World? Yeah, you could have guessed?
I could have guessed that, because of the whole thing. But I kind of thought that was too obvious.
Right, so do you know any history about the Dark Ages? Have you ever heard the term the Dark Ages at all?
I've heard the term the Dark Ages, but I've never really looked into it.
So there was no liberty of conscience. So America wanted liberty of conscience. They wanted freedom, religious liberty, just freedom. That's what they wanted. So one more question. Do you know why people originally came here? Same reason, really.
I do. I kind of have a clue about it, but it's not a definite answer.
Gotcha. So, but you understand that the ones who came here established the Constitution, right? Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So one last question. Did you know the Bible talks about America in today's world?
No.
You didn't know that?
No.
All right, well, I'm going to tell you something. The Bible actually talks about America and what America is doing. And have you seen the way America is moving that is slowly restricting liberties at all in the current events?
Yeah.
You've seen some of those things, like gun rights? Gotcha. Well, we just want to give you a gift. We want to give you a book here about the history of America. It goes to church history, but also the history of America. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. God bless you. All right. So today, welcome to Our World Today. That's what the YouTube channel is called. So I would just want to briefly ask you 5 questions about the history of America. We just want to see how many people actually know their history. You're laughing. You're laughing. All right.
Okay.
All right. So do you know when America claimed their independence?
1776.
Boy, high five. All right. So it was 1776, exactly. So why did America want to claim their independence? Do you know why?
Because they wanted freedom. They wanted to practice their own religion and everything. So the 13 colonies got started.
I'm impressed.
I think.
I'm impressed. That's exactly what they came here for freedom, for liberty of conscience. Because back in the old world, they were being oppressed.
And taxes and all that.
Yeah, exactly. Third question. Why did people originally come here? What was the purpose of them coming here?
I think it was for the freedom and not being taxed and practice their own religion and stuff.
Okay, do you have anything else to add?
I don't.
You don't? I really like your answer. There's one more thing. What they came to do is they came to establish a state without a king.
Exactly.
And a church without a pope.
I should have had that.
You should have had that, but you did really good. It was freedom, which is right, which is correct. So, with the current events going on today, are you seeing America slowly restricting some of these freedoms that we have gained from the Constitution?
I believe, yeah, 100% so.
You see it going that direction?
I think so.
I agree with you. I completely agree with you. Now, did you know the Bible actually talks about America in the world today?
Now, what's that now?
Did you know the Bible talks about America?
In the world today.
In the world today, and what America is doing?
Probably does. I don't really. I can't
really
follow the. I can't tell you exactly where or what.
Right. I got you. So in the book of Revelation, chapter 13, I'm not sure how familiar you're with the Bible, but in the book of Revelation 13, it talks about a beast, and if you study the Bible line upon line, here a little, there a little, a beast represents a kingdom, and it talks about a beast that is like a lamb, which is good qualities, like Christianity. However, it ends up speaking like a dragon, so which means it ends up going with force. So that's what the Bible actually talks about, and we have a gift for you that will elaborate exactly on this, on history.
So thank you, sir.
We want to give that to you.
Yeah.
There's a book, The Great Controversy. It really goes in throughout this history in America and prophecy, the history of America. Yeah. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So hi, your name again?
Ryan.
Ryan, my name is Willie. So welcome, this is Our World Today. That's what the YouTube channel is called. So I have 5 brief questions. The first one is, do you know when America claimed their independence?
Claimed independence?
Yeah.
I believe it was 1776.
You got it, brother. Congratulations. Congratulations. 1776. All right, so now do you know, why did America want to be independent from the old world? Do you know why?
A lot of it was, when the colonies were created, they thought that it would be best to not be paying taxes to a king that, they didn't have any representation.
Right.
Secondly, they had the Church of England, and they wanted to have their own churches,
Gotcha.
whatever they wanted, Protestant, typically Protestant at that time.
Right.
I know, like, Maryland was a Catholic area, but majority of the colonies were Protestant, and they just didn't want to be part of the...
Now, I find it very interesting that you mentioned churches, because most people do not mention it. Like, history is trying to shove that away.
Yeah.
However, it is because they wanted religious freedom.
Exactly.
That is why they came here. So when the Pilgrims came to America, do you know what they came to establish?
Well, they were Puritans.
Puritans, Quakers.
I know that obviously they didn't want any like a church head.
Right.
Because Church of England also has
right.
like a pope type figure.
I like how you say. Wow, you're good. You're good. Yeah. So yeah, they came to establish.
Archbishop. That's
exactly. They came to establish a church without a pope and a state without a king.
Exactly.
Because they wanted religious freedom. So now, with the things that are going on in the world today, do you see those liberties slowly being stripped away from us?
Absolutely.
You see it?
Yes.
Can you give me some examples in certain areas?
I mean, just take a look at the news for 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's all you need to do.
That's all you need to do? Yeah. Gun rights, 9/11, everything. And they're doing it in the name of security. But it's for the common good, but it's going to end up in disaster.
This is how every communist revolution started. So.
Exactly. You got it.
That's it.
So you see America stepping toward that?
Yeah. We'll be there. It's going to be the second Civil War.
It's just a matter of time.
It's already an ideological Civil War.
Right. Now, did you know the Bible talks about that America is going to head that direction? You knew about that?
The United States is in the Bible.
It is, exactly. Now, I like how you said that. It is.
Who do you think Magog is?
Magog? I haven't done too much study on that. I know it says concerning Magog is where the people come from who, want to fight against the final battle. However, I'm going to present this to you. So you seem to know your Bible a little bit. So in Revelation 13, there's 2 beasts. The second beast is a lamb-like beast. I like that, brother. Brother, I like that. You're my brother. You're my brother in Christ.
Always comes with me.
Yeah, I always have that too with me. So in the Bible, in Revelation 13, there's 2 beasts. And the second beast is a lamb-like beast, but it speaks as a dragon. And if you let the Bible interpret itself, a beast represents a kingdom. And at first it was a lamb because the Constitution was Christ-like principles, but it ends up speaking like a dragon. So that's the U.S., brother.
Hey, that's a good interpretation.
Well, brother,
I like that.
don't just take my word for it. Study the Bible for yourself. The Bible will interpret itself if you let it.
Right.
And you carry your Bible. I like that.
Yeah.
That's actually my main focus. So we want to give you a gift about the history of America. He's going to point to us when he's ready.
All right.
All right, so we're just doing it for a YouTube channel, Our World Today. So I have just four to five brief questions. So do you know when America claimed their independence?
1760 something, I believe.
All right, you're close. It's 1776.
1776.
That's when America claimed their independence. Now, do you know why they wanted to be independent from the old world and from Britain?
A couple of reasons. One of the major ones was freedom of speech, and another major one was taxation. They were having issues with a lot of taxation.
I really like the word you use, freedom. However, I'm going to give you another major reason, which I believe lies at the foundation. It was religious freedom and freedom of conscience.
Yes.
That's the main reason why they came here. So the pilgrims who came to America, as a soil in America too, do you know why they came here? To establish something?
I know about Jamestown, and I know part of that was religion.
Right. And so you've heard.
And then there was also property. Property was a massive issue.
Gotcha.
That's why a lot of people spread even farther west to this part of America.
Right, and I completely agree with you. However, they were fleeing persecution, and they came to establish the Constitution, which is establishing a church without a pope and a state without a king.
With the Quakers, if I'm correct.
Yeah, exactly. Quakers, they were actually the founders of it. They started it. You know your history, brother. I like that. So, with the current events you're seeing in the world today, are you seeing the liberties that were given to us in the beginning? Are you seeing them slowly being restricted?
Yes, I am.
So,
and I'm very strongly against that.
Me too. Now, did you know the Bible talks about America restricting liberties in the end times?
No.
You didn't know that? All right, so there's a prophecy, and many people don't study the Bible. They don't, because many people put their own interpretation on the Bible, and they come to these crazy conclusions. But you have to let the Bible interpret itself. And if you study the Bible, in the book of Revelation 13, there's a beast. It says it's a lamb-like beast, but it speaks like a dragon. And in the Bible, if you go back to Daniel, a beast represents a kingdom or a nation. So when it says, I believe that beast represents America, there's plenty of evidence which we're going to give you, and it says it ends up speaking like a dragon, which means using force, putting away religious liberty. So we want to give you a gift.
Voice like thunder, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, exactly. It talks about that, exactly. So we want to give you a free gift that gives you more information on that history exactly. It's about America history, church history, going through just history.
Yeah,
absolutely. Thank you so much.
No problem.
I really appreciate it, brother.
Have a good one.
And what's his name?
Wotan.
Yes. All right, right on. All right, so do you know when America claimed their independence?
1776.
Did you overhear that earlier?
No.
No?
I'm aware of that one.
All right, good job. It was July 4th, 1776. Yes. That's when they claimed their independence. So do you know why they claimed their independence and from what they claimed their independence from?
They claimed their independence from the taxes from England and to break off from England and be their own.
All right. Now, I completely agree with it. However, it seems to me like history is obviously trying to, a lot of them are trying to avoid something. They also claimed their independence because they wanted religious freedom.
Yep.
Right? That is one of the main reasons why the pilgrims came here, right?
And so religious freedom, I'm even going to go on this one.
All right, I like that. All
so one of the things that is being lost right now with religious freedoms is the right to...
Exactly.
The retroviruses and all the toxins that are in them, and we have no. This is my talk as I'm going across the United States right now.
I like your talk. I like your talk.
Thank you.
I like your talk. Keep going.
Yes.
Anyway, so a lot of what we're also seeing is about the contaminations in our food sources, in the air we breathe, in everything. But we're losing individual rights.
Exactly. So you're seeing this happening in America, right?
Absolutely.
this is my mission in life.
Forcing vaccinations.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Now here's my last questions. Did you know? Not my second last question. With the current events, I've obviously already see that religious liberty is being taken away, and liberty is not only religious but our God-given rights. Individual rights, as you said. Now, did you know the Bible talked about that America would do this?
I absolutely believe that.
Yes, will we believe that? All right, I'm just going to briefly share it with you. In the book of Revelation, I'm not sure how familiar with. There's a beast described, and if you study the Bible, you have to let the Bible interpret itself, because if you don't, you're going to come up with all these different theologies that the Bible interprets itself. You see, a beast represents a kingdom, according to Daniel 7, verse 7, and in Revelation 13, we see a lamb-like beast, and it comes up as a lamb, and it ends up speaking like a dragon. So now that lamb-like beast, it represents a kingdom. It comes up out of the earth, and if you study the context of it, it represents the United States of America. And when the United States...
I 100% believe that. That
sounds great.
Yep.
Praise the Lord. So it represents America, and it was founded upon Christian principles, but the speaking of a dragon, the dragon represents Satan in Revelation 12. And what he does is he uses force. You can see how he speaks in the old world during the Dark Ages. He forced people to conform or die. So that's what is coming to America according to the Bible. So I really like how you're seeing it. I really like your talk about vaccinations. I really appreciate that. And we have a free gift for you as well. We want to give you the free gift. You already have the free gift.
I have.
All right.
I'm lined out here.
You're all right. Right on. So that's exactly the free gift that we're going to give you.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Your name again?
Julie.
Julie. As you have seen, many of us are ignorant of our world today in connection with Bible prophecy. But we know and we believe that the Bible speaks of our world today and where we are headed as a world. So brothers and sisters, do not take for granted the liberties we have here in America. Blood was shed for this liberty. Blood was shed for the Bible to be in our hands. It was not free. Huge battles have been fought over this issue. So brothers and sisters, if you enjoyed this video, I encourage you to like, to subscribe, especially if you want to know more about our world today in connection with Bible prophecy. Thank you for watching. May the Lord be with you, and do not forget to like and subscribe. God bless.
I gave my life for